I think leadership's the differentiator in business these days, and it plays a critical role in innovation. Leadership in innovation is about creating an environment where I think people can feel they can think openly, they're not worried about all the rules, they can fail. Leadership sets the tone and the culture in which innovation happens. Well, I think two ways. Number one, put teams together of people who see the world differently so that the conclusions they come to aren't from one lens. And then secondly, create an environment where, again, people are rewarded and recognized for seeing things and looking at things differently. I think that it's about creating environments where everyone wins if there's a success, and too often there's no collaboration because there's silo mentalities. Well, this is my team, that's your team. We don't work together. So a leader can easily break silos, a leader can easily set up incentives for people to collaborate together, and they can make it clear in the way they talk to people and the culture they create that it's a we game, not a me game. Now we do that through stories. We say, here are stories that will shape how you see the world. How can you apply an external story and the learnings of that to something that goes on internally? But it's equally powerful looking at what are the stories where people have succeeded inside an organization by simply viewing the world differently, a different lens, and then sharing those stories and telling people that's the behavior that we want out of you. When people understand that that's the behavior that's wanted and expected, then they'll work to the best of their ability. When we talk about the tools at our disposal, it doesn't mean technology tools or financial tools. We all have big ideas that inspire us. We have right and left brains, we have passion, and we have the capability for hard work. And I believe that most human beings are born with a relatively equal amount of that. It's how it's applied. So you then look in business, and a lot of people focus on what they don't have. We're not the market leader. I don't have any R&D money. I don't have this or I don't have that. And our message is, well, yes, that's the glass half empty and the old metaphor, but rather, what do you have and how can you turn that to greater advantage? And when you look at the big game-changing ideas in history, it was never wealthy people who had a whole whack of money and they went out and invented something. It's all about people who scratched their way to get something to market or to make some big idea happen. So I believe that we have those resources, it's whether or tools, or it's whether we use them. I think the message from all the speakers today was, if you're approaching what you're doing from the same old point of view, you're in trouble. And the opportunities now are for people who are prepared to break the walls, to stop and think different, to do things they've never done before, get outside their comfort zones. And what I asked at the beginning today was, identify one thing, if only one thing, that you're going to change when you leave. Go back and do something different. Do more of something or less of something. Commit to doing something you've thought about but have never done, or stop doing something that gets in your way. And if we all do that one step, that's significant.